Hey everyone, Mary Ellen Vanaken with Inside the World of Real Estate, and today we have a treat for you. We have my friend Vickie Barrios from Las Vegas, and I am so excited to have her here. So it's all about you, Vickie. So dig in. Let's talk. Tell us about your background, your family, schooling, growing up, and what made you decide to go into real estate.
Oh, Lord, that's so much. My name's Vickie. I am originally from California. I'm the daughter of a Vietnam veteran. So life as a Marine brat is a little bit different than what most people would think, especially in our era. When my parents got divorced in the early 80s, my mom went into the workforce for becoming a property manager, and I kind of got drug up that way. I originally went to college to become a doctor and an attorney. That was my goal in life, and I kept getting pulled back into real estate. So I've been working since I was 12 years old in real estate, and I couldn't imagine doing something different. It wasn't about the money or the pizzazz. It was more about helping people, getting veterans. From the Bay Area, we had, I want to say, 9 different deployment agencies, and that was mostly what we worked with, was transferring, PCSing, relocation of everybody. And that kind of got me to where I'm at right now.
Well, that is so incredible. And, thank you for your service. And thank you for your dad's service. My dad was in the Army, being in that life and really helping the veterans and taking that into your real estate world. Now, being in real estate at 12 years old, that's pretty incredible. I love that. So tell us about the area you service. Where are you located?
I'm currently located in Northwest Las Vegas. They call us Centennial Hills. I'm in between Creech Air Force Base and Nellis Air Force Base, and I have pretty direct access to anywhere within the valley. I'm lucky or blessed, I'm not sure which, to have 5 different offices with our KW office.
Nice.
So we handle Nye County, Mawapa Valley, all the way down to Laughlin, and then all the way back up to the Las Vegas central area. So we take up all of Clark County, and then that one little piece of Nye County, which is Pahrump. And Pahrump is where the new NASA program's going in.
Wow, that's really exciting. So tell us, what type of properties do you sell? What do you like to sell? I know that you love to work with veterans, but I'd love to hear what types of properties you like to sell.
I love working with just about everything. I've done everything from luxury to first-time home buyer type spec homes. I prefer the custom builds because they are very unique to exactly what the person's looking for. And I've done everything from a Disney house to, I just finished with one gentleman that everything he does is revolved around golf. So he bought 2 acres and it's got golf course type everything all over his property. Everything is specific and to the dynamic of the person that's actually purchasing the property. So being able to fluctuate and flow and ebb with everything that's going on within the market makes life a lot easier for me. I don't have to pivot a lot. I am everything from tattooed to riding Harleys to going to Disneyland with you. I can be your best friend or your worst nightmare in some aspects of life. So that makes me really tenacious when it comes to negotiating the best deals for people, both on the buyer and seller side. I prefer to work with buyers most of the time.
That is interesting. I love it. So tell me a little bit about this Disney house. I want to hear about this Disney house because I know you love Disney. So that's one of your passions. But how did you find someone who wants to build a Disney house in Las Vegas?
She built it in Pahrump, and she's about as crazy as I am. And she was just talking about things that she liked. And every time she mentioned something, it was like, I saw that at Epcot, or I saw that at, and it was just like clicking. And then when I went through Celebrity, I did a lot of home tours when I was there last, almost 2 years ago now. And going through some of the houses, I was like, oh, I think we can get that. And granted, it's not Disney because we got it from China or wherever, but we were able to get other little things, fixtures and whatnot from inspiration of Disney. So her house, all of her sinks are Mickey Mouse shaped. All of her faucets have the Mickey Mouse on it. She just loved it as much as I did. And this was like the biggest fun I could ever have because my husband will not allow me to do Disney in my house. So, I got to live life through her for a couple of months while she was just getting this custom build done. And she changes out her flowers every season. She makes sure that Christmas is Christmas. It's just a stunning property.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. All right, so tell us a little bit about what's the average price point in your area. So like for condos and single family homes, what would you say?
Condos were floating.
Like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, or just tell us different prices, square footage, that kind of information.
So condos we're looking at about 300,000 as a median price. In single family residence, we're running approximately 485. And then we also have high rise here. So they Manhattanized Las Vegas, I want to say in 2005, 2006, before the bust and or burst or however. And so we have like MGM Signature, we have Four Seasons, we have the Waldorf, we have Aria, and all these different areas downtown and on the strip that allow you to have that luxury high-end living without having the upkeep of a property. So it's kind of like the casinos met the condo industry and created babies. And we also have hotel condo living as well. So if you know that you're going to be here for the poker tournaments or whatnot, you can actually keep your condo for those months that you're doing the World Series of Poker and then rent it out on the regular hotel circuit for the rest of the year. So those run on an average of about $600 a square foot.
Okay.
But they can vary depending on property to property. And there's very select lenders that will lend to those properties as well. And we only have one high rise that I know of offhand that allows for FHA and VA ownership, which is downtown on Fremont Street. So that allows them to have a little bit of both worlds. That's where a lot of the nightlife and the easier going laid back type stuff happens, is on the Fremont Street. So you don't have to worry about the glitz and glamour of being on the strip, but you're close enough to being there within 5 minutes. And you can even walk there in 10.
That's amazing. So you're actually doing lots of different types of homes. You're doing luxury properties, and you're doing single family homes, and you're doing condos, and then you're doing this new concept of condo slash hotel, however you want to put it in, and have the lifestyle. So that's pretty incredible. So when you talk about a single family home, an average price point is like $465. How many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, and about how much square footage, just on average?
The average right now is about 1,500 square foot.
Okay.
And you're looking at like between 465 and 485. It's location, of course.
Of course.
And now we're actually turning less to location and more to what the current maintenance and product or street views look like. So a lot of people are looking at, is it move-in ready? Are all the appliances included? Things of that nature. So you're seeing a lot more change in the industry from when we were back with, we have to be in Summerlin or we have to be in the specific town hall.
Yes.
And buyers are actually coming into the market now saying, you know what, I just want to get my feet wet, if nothing else, because things are starting to come again to the buyer's market to where they can pick up at just about anything right now. And they're in a really great swing because of the fact that they're getting a great price. The interest rates aren't completely outrageous right now.
Sure.
And they're able to get a piece of their own. So I have first-time home buyers that I've been working with since 2017, 2018, when everything was flying so quickly, to, you know what, we're going to go ahead and do it because we've seen the prices go up year after year. I mean, we've still got a 10% increase over last year We have a huge influx. We're a transient city. A lot of people take that as a negative, but we have 6,000 to 9,000 people coming in every month. And we
Wow.
have 3,000 to 6,000 leaving. So we have a pretty ebb and flow when it comes to who's coming, who's going. A lot of people think that California is number one. Over 42% of our properties are bought by cash. So it's a great location for stuff like that. We're a very landlord-friendly state. We have no income taxes. So living here and taking a 25% cut really isn't a bad cut because you're actually saving a lot of money on the other end of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest downfall to Nevada itself is our automotive registration is outrageous compared to other states.
Okay.
But when you look at property taxes, I think we're some of the cheapest. We used to own a half acre in California, and we're paying almost $15,000 a year, where that same half acre here, we'd probably be paying around now maybe $4,000.
Right.
And this was 20 years ago, so California, I'm sure, has gone up now.
Yes.
So there's a lot of nuts and bolts and bits and pieces that have to fall into place. We have a lot of amusement parks coming into town. We have Amazon. I can't remember if they call it a camp yard or wild wilderness or whatever, but it's a wilderness basically thing that they're building up by Mount Charleston. We also have, of course, the prison system here is a little different than other states. We put them in the middle of the desert and kind of leave people there. But we're starting to see a lot of buildup in those areas because the land is so much more available.
Sure. And affordable too, right? So
yeah, you can get a complete, we call them express properties, but they're fully loaded, if you will. And you can get them still around 400,000. It depends on location, of course, of where you're putting the house, but 400,000 for a brand new home that comes with a 5 to 10 year warranty. Sign me up, because
yeah, exactly. You can't find that
getting,
in a lot of places in across the country and across the world. So that's pretty amazing too. And I it looks like everything, like Vegas, we don't really have to talk about Vegas. Everybody knows about Vegas, right? They know that you've got people coming in and out so your biggest industry is obviously tourism, right?
yes.
And what other industries do you have in your area that are big in that people
We're
are looking
huge
for?
on medical right now. We've
Okay.
got, I want to say 9 or 10 different hospitals. We have three that are actually teaching hospitals. We've got University Medical Center, Valley View, and then Valley, and then we have Sunrise. So those three are like our main hospitals. They're trauma centers, level 1.
Nice.
UMC is the head of, I want to say, kidney research. They do the
Yes.
kidney transplants. We were the first ones to be able to do that. Our office is really blessed because we also have sports and entertainment, which is huge in the industry right now.
Of course.
We have the Oakland A's, are going to be the Las Vegas A's, I'm assuming, coming next year.
Yes.
We have the Aviators, which we got into baseball, I want to say 5 years ago, just before COVID. And I'm from the Bay Area, so the A's are one of the family members' favorites. I'm an actual Giants fan, but I watch the A's, I watch the River Cats, I watch all the teams that come into town from time to time. We finally got football. We have the Raiders, and I have to be okay with that. I'm a Niner fan, but
we get that. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. But really, Vegas has come so far in the last 20 years. Even how long have you lived in Vegas?
I've been here for 25 years, and when I first moved here in 2000, we were at 10% of master plan. We're still at only like maybe 75% of master plan in 25 years. And our biggest booms we were like flying until 2007. And a lot of people keep saying 2008. Our market shifts a lot quicker than most other markets, and we recover really quickly compared to other markets. So we were living on the hog, if you will, from 2012 to 2019. And then when the world came to an end, so did everything else. But we were still doing really well, even during COVID. I mean, we were considered required people in the world when it came to real estate for the state of Nevada. So we're still selling properties. We could barely get them on the market, and people were offering their firstborns pizza for life. I mean, they were doing everything under the sun. I'm like, oh my gosh, this reminds me of the heyday of when the market crashed, and we were selling properties. And as realtors, we were only making like $500 a transaction.
Wow.
That was our average during 08 to 2010. And it was like we were working our buns off for nothing. So to come into a different era of having that type of business, that overinflated egos, and everybody wanted to get in the market and everybody wanted to know exactly what was going on. And that's when the bartenders started getting their real estate license and selling on the side. Well, yeah, you could do it back then, but now it's all about service again. We've come back to the
and
grassroots.
It all goes back to Disney for you, because
for me, it's Disney. I'm huge with Disney because I don't know if a lot of people watched the thing with I can't think of his name, but If the Imaginary Friends. And growing up, I didn't have friendships like most people did because I had to have my stuffed animals or whatever. My brother wasn't very fun for me at all, and he was 18 months younger than me. So I had to figure out on my own way. So Mickey Mouse, Winnie the Pooh, and Eeyore were it. And I never clicked it all together until If came out, which was like a year or so ago. And that's the only place I can be myself. I don't have to worry about looking weird or silly or being goofy or whatever. I have no pain. I do have a couple of disabilities that I'm in pain all the time. But when I go there, it's like pain-free. And so that's my drug of choice, if you will. So when I'm having a bad day or just need a boost in life or whatever, I'll turn Disney music on in my office. I have trains that play. I just go to that and I can work my buns off, and I know that my next trip's coming up, so I have something to look forward to. I just got giving
that experience, that Disney experience, to your clients. So because of your background working in real estate since you're 12 years old, learning all about real estate, going to college thinking you're going to be a doctor and lawyer, and then going back to real estate, that's really interesting to me. And then just doing what you love, and then finding joy in every single day. And that's what I really appreciate about you, is you find joy in every single day, that you're bringing that joy to your clients. And that's when they're stressed out, it's so stressful to buy and sell a property, and you're there for them to make them the least amount of stress. And you just give them that customer Disney experience. And it's all about the experience. So
it is. It's the experience. And there was a reason why I had to go into medicine, and a reason why I had to go into law. And that was to be of better service to my clients. I deal with a lot of probate and divorce. I don't know why it's drawn to me. And I'm a VSO, which is a veteran service officer. So I do a lot of work in the community as well, getting benefits, getting them to the right people, getting things done, and being the source of the source to get them resources. So I've probably rehomed over 500 veterans that were homeless that didn't know that they had opportunity. And I've worked on a lot of different teams. I've worked at a brokerage level. So did I personally do it all? Well, I was the catalyst to make it happen, so I'm going to accept some of that responsibility. But I have some amazing partners throughout the nation, even, that I'm able to know that these people are going to be in good hands no matter where I send them, and they trust me enough to keep calling me back and making sure that I'm part of their journey. I have one client that he's now in Florida, and we've bought in 3 different states. He has created some generational wealth and legacy for himself and his dogs, I'm assuming, because that's what we buy property for, right? And he's just one of the most amazing people, but he was homeless for years until he met me, and he found out that he could buy a house. And once things started working and people were telling him, you can't buy that house. Well, this is the house he wanted. He wanted to make it his own. Like, why can't you? And when we closed on it, everybody's like, how did you do that? I'm like, you have to know beyond what the surface is. You have to know your product, and you have to know what the regulations really are. So anybody can sell real estate to a veteran. Anyone can do it. It's going the extra step to knowing how the VA works, what they're looking for and how it all comes together. So we have some great companies and communities out there. I mean, KW has military community.
Yes.
VA Rep's another one that's a national program. And the whole goal is to house veterans that are houseless, not homeless. They don't know that they have things available to them. So that's where getting those niches and creating those bonds. And I can call the VA directly if I have a problem with a client and make it work and figure out what we need to do to make it work. And a lot of agents and lenders, even I've seen so many lazy lenders that just don't want to do the extra step. There's
And
so
it's
many
so,
ways
like
around
I
it.
said, like I love working with veterans. I mean, it's like one of my passions too. And there's not like, I have like two great lenders that just go over and beyond that I use, because like you said, they don't get it. They don't get it. So it's like, you have to find your niche. You've got to find your people. And it seems like you have so much passion for veterans, so much passion finding people homes and everything else. And I just, you amaze me. That's amazing. I mean, I just love talking to you, and I want our viewers to know this is what you're going to get when you're with Vickie. And that's what's amazing. So we know Vegas. So tell us, what do people do, popular activities in Vegas besides the normal gambling, eating, drinking, and going out to shows and things like that? What
We have,
hiking?
we have incredible hiking. We have
Yes.
there's snow, which you can do skiing, snowboarding, things of that nature, which is less than, from my office, I can get there in 20 minutes.
Wow.
We're only 2.5 to 3 hours from Park City, Utah. We're only a couple of hours from St. George. We have Lake Mead Recreational Center, which allows you to do everything from ski doing or sea doing or whatever it's called, to paddle boarding, boating all over the place, water skiing. We have walking trails, hiking trails. We have waterfalls. We have wild Mustangs and things running through our mountains and on our trails.
Yes.
We're a huge dog community. That's one thing
Yes.
I've noticed about Vegas compared to a lot of places. We'll bring our dog anywhere that we don't get kicked out. And it doesn't matter if
I
it's a
love
Great
that.
Dane or a Chihuahua. We bring them everywhere. And I have a service dog, Molly, who you see in a lot of pictures and
Yes.
everything I do, because she's part of the team. And with her, she doesn't get freaked out by these animals everywhere she goes. She thinks that they're all part of her group. So she won't talk to them or anything else. But if they come and sniff her, she just looks at them and kind of wags her tail, talks to it for a second, and walks away.
Sure.
But most of the dogs are really peaceful here. And you see them at Macy's. And I mean, it's not just at your normal dog park. I mean, we bring them everywhere. I'm just trying to think what else we have here.
No, I mean, you have everything, because I love Vegas. I love to come to Vegas, except when it's June.
What else do we have? We're like
It's like
2.5.
June and it's hot as heck. So let's get into the temperatures in Vegas and the seasons. So tell us a little bit about that. So, I mean, I know people know a lot about Vegas, but sometimes they don't know that it can get cold there. So tell us a little bit about the seasons. So
we have 2 seasons, really hot and really cold. Our summers really aren't as bad as they sound once you're through it the first year. I think our average is only like 102, 103. The difference is that we are way dry. So for when it's 102, 103, no humidity, your hair sticks out like you've just found a light socket and your skin starts turning into a lizard. And those months are usually July through September-ish.
Sure.
And then we have fall for a week. And then we have our second summer that lasts until usually October, sometimes into November. And then we go into winter. And then our winter starts slowing up about March. And then we have 2 or 3 summers and winters in between. Right now, we just finished winter. It was like 50 degrees yesterday. And today we're at 90. So
wow. Yeah, that's
we
like
have an on-off switch. We don't have fading into anything. We're either hot or cold. We call Mother Nature bipolar here.
Yes, that's a good to compare and contrast. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And I was in Vegas one year for New Year's, and it snowed.
Yeah.
So
We
it was
had a
like
snow
you
day
don't think of
in,
it, but you're right. It's either hot or cold. Um,
yeah, and we get snow every year. It just depends on how close you go to the strip, because the strip is like the center line, if you will, of
got
the
it.
valley. So the closer you are to the actual mountains, we see it more with Summerlin or the hills of Henderson.
Got it.
But we have snow caps right now on top of our mountains right now because of the fact that we had the weather the last couple of days. And it's funny because I left to Disney and it was beautiful there and it rained the whole time here. I came back and it was beautiful for one day, and then I guess the rain came back because it missed me the first time. So
Of
it's rained for the
course.
last 2 days.
Of course. Of course. Of course. It missed you and then it came around again. So
Exactly.
uh,
But things happen. I mean, we have seasons, but they're not as slow as most other areas. Being from the Bay Area originally, and when my parents divorced, I was between Houston and San Francisco. So I never knew what dry meant. And when I heard it was a dry heat, I'm like, okay, I could probably handle that. Houston was hot as heck. In California, you had to dress in 4 different layers when you got up in the
yeah,
morning because you didn't know what you were going to have by 4 o'clock in the
sure.
afternoon.
Sure.
So I've kind of been through a little bit of everything, and to see the way that Vegas is pretty consistent. I mean, you have your hot or your cold, and those are it. And you dress appropriately. And I always have a ready bag just in case in the car because she's bipolar. She doesn't know what she's going to be doing the next moment. And we have a pretty good, but we have earthquakes, but they're like almost nothing. You wouldn't notice it unless you've been in them before. You're like, oh, we just moved. That's cool. Um,
Earthquake. So there you go.
yeah, but you don't get them like you did in California. I mean, I was there
Right.
for the '89 earthquake, Loma Prieta, and I watched bridges collapse. I watched
Oh, wow.
the
Yeah.
freeway collapse. You could smell burning flesh for weeks because they couldn't get people out. And I mean,
Oh,
I've been through so many different dramatic seasons for different areas for different reasons that as long as nobody dies, we can fix anything. And that's like, I tell my team that all the time. I've got 6 people on my team. Some of them have been doing this for the last 5, 10 years. And then I've got brand new ones that just got licensed. I'm like, I can fix anything as long as you tell me what it is. And you don't kill anybody in the process. We can fix it. And I think that it goes back to the weather portion of what we do here
yeah.
is we're more of a community than most people think or realize. We help our neighbors, we do things for the community, and it goes beyond red day. It goes beyond what people expect from us. KW Cares Red Day. I've worked with EXP Day. I personally have a nonprofit to fill in gaps for generational contaminants of our veterans.
Wow.
Us kids aren't taken care of. So I have disabilities because of my dad's service. And our next wave is coming from post 9/11, from the burn pits and stuff. And these kids are being born with things that they never signed up for. And the veterans didn't know they were going to have issues either. So being
Sure.
able to create a bridge for medical and housing and knowing what the laws are. I mean, there's a reason why I had to do all what I did growing up to get to where I am now.
Yes, that's amazing. I mean, you have an amazing story, and I think that people need to know your story, and they need to know how you work, and they need to do business with you because it's an incredible story that we all love. Now, we know that it's easy to get into Las Vegas. It's easy to fly in. It's easy to get around. Is there a lot of traffic besides on the strip? When you get off the strip, is there traffic?
We're getting pretty bad. Our infrastructure is our downfall, if you will. We
Mhm.
don't have like major metros. We have a bus system that's way behind because we're
Yes,
growing so fast.
got it.
Um, we have tunnels, but we have tunnels for getting rid of water from the mountains because we're in a valley. So our tunnels aren't set up to be BARTs or any kind of rapid transit system. Our buses are like every half an hour to an hour. So it could take you 2 hours, 3 hours to get to work if you're dependent on a bus system, but we're
Right.
heavily dependent on Uber, Lyft, taxis, our neighbor, however it works. We carpool a lot. Our schools are really cool about the fact that we're able to have magnet schools. The closest one we have here is a veterinary technical school. So they're part of the 4-H club. They learn how to work with our farms and stuff. And we've got quite a few farms here. And they don't live anywhere close to their school, though. They're being bused from local elementary schools to their high schools just to make sure that they get the education for being prepared to what they want to grow up in. And we have everything from robotics to astronauts. We've got physicists, doctors, lawyers, and these schools that are magnet schools. People are leaving there. And I say people, our kids are literally graduating, going right into a 4-year degree. And some of those classes that they've done in those last 4 years are actually transferable to the degree.
Nice.
So we have a lot of that more than most other cities and states. California, I do know, have something similar to that. It was middle college, high school. At least when I was growing up, I don't even know if it exists anymore. I mean, I'm kind of old. So
I love that. Kind of old, but that's okay.
I graduated 35 years ago, so I don't know what's still there or not. But I think that being in Vegas, we have a lot of opportunity. If the kids leave from here, they have the ability to fly home on weekends and holidays and stuff, because we do have so many flights coming in with all the carriers. Yes. We actually have flights that go direct from here to England. We have flights that go directly from here to Hawaii. So we are the 9th island, as far as I know.
I love it. No, but it's always fun. I mean, everyone loves to come to Vegas. Now, what about, I hear a lot of people are retiring and purchasing properties in Vegas. So touch on that a little bit.
We have a lot of 55 plus communities, so we don't call them for old folks. They're age restricted because we just don't want to be bothered by the children. And the rules with those are you have to have at least one person at least 55, and everyone else has to be over 18. Anyone under the age of 18 can only stay for a maximum of 1 month per year. Those prices are actually a little bit lower than what our normal is, depending on the location, of course. But I think every master plan community has at least one Sun City attached to it. And if it's not Sun City, it's a spinoff of it. And they're called Sun Colonies. So with that, you're able to have amenities like golf courses. They have full clubhouses with a full restaurant there. You have, most of them are gated.
Nice.
We have Lake Las Vegas. We have Anthem Country Club has a community up there. We have Sun City Summerlin. We have Solera, which is in, it's off of Summerlin, so it's not as pricey. And some of those homes are as little as 1,100 square feet, and they go up to 2,000-3,000 square feet. So it just really depends on what lifestyle you want to have. And that's pretty much with all of our communities. It's all based off of lifestyle. So if you want to live at the top of the Ritz, you would go to Summerlin in most cases, like the Ridges, or Red Rock Country Club, where you're spending anywhere from $2 to $12 million on average. And they do get up there. I think our highest price point right now is $37 million. Wow. And a lot of people look at Vegas and go, really, there's something like that there? Absolutely. We have Summit, the Summit Club, which is where all of our movie stars are for the most part.
Got it. Yeah. I mean, you do have a lot of celebrities and a lot of athletes that come, and people love Vegas. They think Vegas is great. So they come, they like, and if they come a bunch, they're going to buy a property there. Why not? You know what I mean?
And we have everything now. We have NASCAR. We have Formula One. We have, we're getting basketball finally. I mean, that was like, I honestly thought basketball before baseball, but no. So we have, what is it? Rugby, lacrosse,
everything. And golf, lots of golf. So I definitely feel it appeals to, it's affordable for people who are retiring. The climate is really very nice. there's golf courses, there's probably pickleball and tennis and all
Oh my
that kind of
gosh.
stuff. You know,
A lot
so
of people
people
are
are
getting
doing it
rid of their
all.
tennis courts for that. Pickleball is like the thing. They have more
I know
championship
everybody
things
does
here.
pickleball.
I
I play
haven't tried
tennis
it
and
yet, but
pickleball.
I'm like,
It's fun. It's a social thing. It's pickleball. So I know we touched a little bit about what you enjoy doing outside of real estate. So if you just dig a little bit into that, like what do you like to do when you're not doing real estate?
I love spending time with my husband. We've been together for 35, 36 years.
36 years.
We've got
Okay.
2 beautiful kids. I
Where
have
do
a
your
lot
kids
of
live?
dogs.
How many
They live
dogs?
with me right now.
Okay.
Kids live with me. They're 33 and 27. The dogs, I have 5 of them. Actually, I own one and the rest are grand pups, but I guess I got them in the divorces. So COVID was really hard on a lot of people, including my kids.
As
So
you hear one of my dogs making some noise saying hi. So you
no
mentioned
worries.
dogs, and one of mine was like, hi.
It's a dog person. I love it.
I
But
know.
yeah, my husband and I like to do all kinds of like road trips. We'll go for day trips.
Nice.
We ride a motorcycle. We ride a Harley. So it's just a cruising bike. So it's nothing like we're not on a sports circuit or anything. We do RVing. We go boating. I'm trying to think what else we do.
Well, that's a lot. That's a lot. I
We
mean,
go
I
to
feel like
Disneyland or Disney World, and we just do as much as we can. We try to make it since my parents have passed, we do our best to make sure that we make the most of our memories because we don't have expiration dates, and really instill in other people that they need to fill their dash what fills them, not necessarily what everybody else wants them to feel. Because now my parents are gone, I don't have anybody to impress anymore, right? And I did a lot of stuff in my life because that's what I was supposed to do. So now I get the opportunity to do what I want to do and reap the consequences sometimes. But I get to make decisions of things that I probably would have never done because it was too dangerous or it was scary to my mom. So don't do the jumping out of a perfectly good airplane or anything.
Right.
But I have to experience some things.
And in Vegas, you can do all kinds of crazy things, right? All kinds of adventure things are always happening in Vegas. So,
do you have any zip lines?
Zip lines. There you go. Do you have any specific bucket list travel places you want to go? Talking about enjoying your life.
We're going to Scotland in 2 years to celebrate our 35th wedding anniversary.
Nice.
Then I don't know what date we're doing it, but my bucket list, my biggest one is I want to go to all the Disney properties in the same year. So I have to retire
in the same year. That's a challenge. All right. I've been to
I think I have to be fully retired for that.
Paris. I've been to Hong Kong. I've been to Paris. I've been, Tokyo.
Yeah, I haven't been to those. I've only been in the United States. So
well, that's definite fun thing to do. And fun to plan all in one year, though. That I want to hear about. So that's great. So
once I have it figured out, I'll let you know.
All right. I mean, that's going to be definitely a challenge going all over the world. Just tell me about one of your most rewarding real estate transactions and why. And I know that we all have a ton of them, but just one that just kind of hits your heart because I want our viewers to know how you work. So,
I think the biggest one was an elderly couple I met. It's been probably 20 years now, and the sweetest people ever. And they came to me because they're trying to get their assets and everything back in order. So when the gentleman had to cross over, his wife didn't have to worry about it. So nice. I brought in everything from estate planner to literally letting them, instead of planning their wedding, they were planning basically their funeral. And my being able to let them know that it was okay to do this and that it was actually helping the situation. Once they were able to grasp that, things went so much easier for them. And then when he did pass, which was probably a good 2 years later, She says, you realize that you are the one that created us being able to have an extra 2 years because he wasn't supposed to make it for another 6 weeks when we met you.
Wow. That
So,
is impactful. Very
so for
impactful.
me, that was like okay, veterans are the thing because that's what I do. And then probate was another part of it. And back then, if you had a reverse mortgage, you had to sell the house, you didn't have options. So going through those motions with them and them knowing that they could count on me to hold their hand through the whole process and not have to worry about what if, that was huge. It was a huge impact on me. It was a huge impact on them. And she's still alive. God bless her. I don't know how she's done it, but she's, I believe, turning 98 this year.
Wow.
And she is just a spitfire. She tells everybody that will listen to call me.
Oh, I love
She's
that.
one of my biggest. She's one of
Talk
my
about
biggest
a great
cheerleaders.
referral.
Yeah, and they say your average life, you get what, 3 or 4 referrals from somebody from one transaction, and she's seriously probably 20, 30. She
Nice.
won't let anybody leave her site without telling them how wonderful I am. And
Oh,
I
that's
get phone calls just on
amazing.
refi questions or whatever, and who's the best attorney right now. I don't have a problem with giving information like that because that's kind of our job. I mean, we're supposed to be the source of the source. We're supposed to create resources for our clients, and they're supposed to be forever clients. I think one of our OPs back in the day said if they haven't been gone for 6 months, they're still in your database. And I still live true to that. I have probably 16 databases I'm trying to merge right now into one. And some of the names that are popping up, it's like, oh my gosh, they passed away during COVID, or oh my
Right.
gosh, where did they relocate to because they couldn't take care of the house anymore and the kids took over. And
Right.
I started calling these people. My database is over 15,000. So being able to reach out to these people and find out exactly what's going on. They're not just people, though. They're family members. I know when their kids graduated. I know who they got married to. I'm in my
Right.
third generation in some cases of housing people, which is huge, I think, because they know me, they trust me, and they send more people to me. And I get referrals for all across the nation because they call me, and that's how I send them out. I went to Disneyland last week again, and I ran into somebody I hadn't seen in like 12 years. And she gave me 2 listing referrals and she gave me 3 buyers.
That's amazing.
I'm
See?
like,
So you're a
that's why I go to
connector.
Disney.
You're amazing. So the only thing I have to say is just if you're going to Vegas, you need to call Vickie. I mean, it's just she's incredible. She is so involved in the community. She has such a big heart for veterans. She really loves on her database, and it all goes back to that Disney experience. And she's been in real estate since she's been 12 years old in some form or whatever. So, I
Yep.
mean, I don't know what more to say. So, what I'm trying to do is in this inside of real estate is tell people like, if they want to look for somebody in Las Vegas, they've got this interview. They can really get to know you before they call you, right? And I think that that's what's so important here. So I just wanted to ask you one more question. Is there anything that we did not discuss that you want to tell our viewers?
We have some amazing agents in this community, and I'm blessed because when it comes to Bang, I have a counterpart, if you will, whose name is Tracy, and everybody deserves to meet her as well. And we kind of tag team, and we're not very egotistical, and she has a smaller team, so I have a little bit more availability. But it's all about doing everything in a partnership and creating synergy. It's not about just me. I mean, we weren't put in this world to just be a person. So having the ability to work with groups like Bang or Agent of Excellence or whatever we choose to work with,
Sure.
um, it's about creating a community within the community. And I think that that's going to really pivot us to the new shift that's happening right now that we've been going through for almost 6 months now. We're going to start
Right.
feeling the repercussions of it, especially in the month of May going into June. So being able to know that I can call Tracy if I'm too busy and go, hey, I need you to take this lead for me because I know that you know what you're doing. I have no problem with that. And sometimes I do that with going over my team members because of the fact that it's so important to
Right.
get that cooperation and that level of service. I can't put a new person with somebody that's sold and bought 5 or 6 times and have an expectation of things to go a specific way when they've only closed 20 transactions compared to 2,000.
Right.
So
exactly.
for me, it's a big deal about making sure consistency and quality are there.
And that's amazing. That's amazing to hear out of a real estate consultant, agent, whatever you want to call yourself, because everyone's all over the place. So I always feel like you are the type of person that we want to surround ourselves with, because it's all about them and it's all about what's best for them. That's what is best for you. And that's what I appreciate. So what we learned about you, Vickie, today, I just really have enjoyed this conversation and learned so much about you, about your history and how you became where you are and just how you treat clients. And I think that that's really important. So thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate it. We're going to say goodbye now to our viewers, and then we'll talk it offline. Okay? Thanks.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Bye-bye.